Alrighty. So I haven't done a stream in Obfuscate for a long time, but this is something that's new and something that I need to get acclimated with. So I spent a little bit of time this weekend talking to a friend, going over some videos, looking into. I need to look at the camera. Looking into GitHub Copilot. Now, there's quite a few videos out there. This is not going to be anything extensive. This is really just telling my audience and people that may listen to me that, hey, listen, we need to really get into this like AI programming, AI tools, and things like that. Hopefully, the screen will be big enough. I'm doing this on one screen, which is abnormal for me, but not a big deal, I guess. There we go. All right, so some of the videos that I've one of the video I watched in particular, it was from a person, I guess, that was on the GitHub Copilot team or something like that from Microsoft, and he was talking about some of the things that you can actually do in terms of like different like these things being not just predictive, but suggestive. Is a more important thing. So, for instance, if you wanted to, I have a project, right? So in this project, I have to do some database calls. Now, database calls can be very expensive. They could be compute expensive, bandwidth expensive, and then they can also be expensive in efficiency in terms of time that's wasted because of compute and bandwidth. And then, even the database server on the other end answering and things like that. So, for instance, I have to do a call that goes out to a database and calls for, say, an ID or something like that, or a JSON object, or a row of data. And that row of data I get. Well, I'm going to have to reuse that row of data. So instead of me making a call every time because I have to deal with, say, like a million rows of data, it doesn't make sense for me to keep on going back to the database for something that I've already fetched. So what you usually do is you either put it in a file or I put it in memory. So in my case, I'm running this probably from like a Lambda or something like that, something that has no permanent storage. So you have to think about things a little bit differently, right? Things you have to either be stored in the database or fit in memory. So also one thing that's another way of being efficient is like, okay, your first iteration of the project is to get the data, and you get the data and you make a call a million times or sometimes 3 million calls to the database. Okay, that costs money. All right, cool. Then your next iteration is, okay, why don't I just download that entire table from the database, which is a lot smaller, and then just reference the JSON and search through that array of JSON objects, right? Or search through the array of return data. All right, cool. That's even faster, or that's a little bit faster. But then, what if you can make it faster? And then, for instance, I don't need that whole table. Maybe about and that table might be about 10,000. In my case, it might be 10,000 rows. So it might be 10,000 rows worth of data. Well, I only need half of that. I don't really need all of it. So I can do something like get the data once, put that data in an array, and then any subsequent calls for the data, I'm gonna search through that array first because then that's local, and then push that and then use that data. And if I can't find it, then I'm gonna go to the database, make the database call, and then go ahead and put it in the array, or put it in that same array that I was searching through earlier. Because now, if I'm going to use it, most likely another call or another line in the file is going to use it. So that makes things a lot faster as you go along. So how do you do something like that? And I was thinking about how I can do it. I wasn't able to figure it out over the weekend. I had the idea of like what I needed to do, but I just didn't have the time. And there was like other things that were going on where I was just like, I don't have the time to deal with this. Like I'm gonna just do it the hard way, which is the first way. Like everything I need to get, three different information for three different items, and I'm making a database call for each one of them. That is so disgusting, so nasty. So I was like, okay, well, how can I do that? So in this case, what we're gonna do, and I'll show you how. I mean, this is the result of it. But essentially, if I wanted to ask Copilot a question, I already paid for Copilot, or they have I think like a 30-day free trial or something like that, and then it's like I pay $100 after that per year. And I pay $100 because you save like 20 bucks or something like that by doing that. It's like $100 or 20 bucks or $10 per month for individual accounts. So if I do Q for question, and then I say search through an array array of JSON objects for a specific value and return the object, right? So it'll do things like being suggestive, right? So then I'll enter, and it's like, okay, so JSON objects, specific value. In this case, I was expecting something different, but did I spell something? I'm just looking at this because I'm like wondering if I spelled something wrong. Let's see what it does. Okay. All right. So I did something wrong here. Um, so then I have I have this here, and I guess I can go back to the previous example, but I'm what you can do is press Control Enter. Oh, yeah, Control Enter. Oh wait, is it Command Enter? Oh, Command Enter. I have my Command button on my Mac mapped to Control, but it isn't doing it right now. Alrighty. So what you can do is Control Enter on Windows, Command Enter on Mac, and let's hide this. Wait, what? Why did I just hide my screen? Okay. All right. So then here we can see that it's starting to look, it goes through the internet and it finds all these solutions for you. So pretty much it's like an in VS Code version of Google or something like that. Really is kind of what it is. This is freaking great. But you can see through Stack Overflow and you can have all the different suggestions. So you can suggestion one is this here, or you can go with number two, which is this right here. So you can actually have it say like find null. You could find the index of where it's stored and then reference that index. So then object bracket index or index value. And then you can keep going through all of these different suggestions. Now, which one? How do I choose? Suggestion three. One thing I don't know is how you choose. Suggestion three. This is pretty cool. Let me just look through this here. Find Samantha. So right here, you're just going through and getting the value of name, and then equals Samantha, which is a string. Cool. And then return I, which is the index of Samantha. So that gives you all the information for Samantha. Okay. So let's see. How can we merge conflicts encountered? Okay, no biggie. I wonder if we can do. So one thing you can do here is, I was wondering if I can reference it by the suggestion number, but I'm gonna keep on trying that here in a second. So one thing that I noticed in this video, and I think I put the video in my community tab. It was a black guy presenting. So it's that one. There's a couple others, I think, or there's one other too, where the guy's going over it, and he's also showing the pitfalls or some of the issues. Oh, sorry. Some of the issues with Copilot, because with Copilot, it'll do things that aren't efficient or aren't in some ways efficient. So, for instance, he was going over quicksort, and he said like the benefit of quicksort is, or one of the things about quicksort is that you're not using more memory references or things in memory. I don't totally understand it because I'm just not that. Quicksort, I think, is common, but I don't use it much, and I probably should. So, anyways, but he was going over it, and I thought that was pretty good. What's cool about this is that I can tab to accept this, and then I can accept the word, right? So I can accept this word, this word, this word, and take little pieces of it. So in this case, I'll accept. Always show toolbar. All right, so I just want to see what's there. So I can click on accept or just press tab. So here, tab, tab. Okay, tab. Oh, cool. So this is not exactly what I was doing or what happened before. If anything, most likely what that means is that my question wasn't good enough in a sense to get this level of solution. But I can always press Control Enter or Command Enter and get that, or get the solutions window over here on the side. Now, one thing I can do is let's just go back in time. So, so this was my original question. I guess it's better. Search an array of JSON objects for a matching key value pair. And even when I was typing in matching, like I stopped right about there and then just tab for the rest of it. Okay, I want to see something here. All right. So then in this case, use find index to find the object with a matching key value pair. All right, cool. Let me tab that. Answer: if index is one, return false, else return true. So now one thing is just this is giving me something different now, right? But one thing you can see here is that it's asking me questions or giving me more answers and refining to find, um the right solution for me in terms of like what I want. But I can always make these changes myself, right? The biggest thing is sometimes getting the meat and then going from there. And somebody like MGTOW Universe, tab, okay. Somebody like MGTOW Universe has probably talked about this on his channel. I really don't watch the brothers' content much, but he's talked with BGS and they went over it. So, but you can see right here is like what is in a name, collection, source, and then you can see all the different things. Now that differs. Like I like, say, for instance, I like this solution here. Um, what I want to find out, and we'll do this will be the last thing, and then I gotta get ready for meetings here. But solution two, you have an array of items, and then find object array key value, basic for loop, and then return null. I would like it to return that actual item. So I can actually just in terms of it says return array one. Yeah, okay, okay, cool. So it'll return that item or it'll return null. So what's nice about this is that I can go through it and go from there. One other suggestion that I had, or the last suggestion that I had, uh, I noticed that it gave me that suggestion. Hmm, use. uh, Okay. So what I think it's doing here, instead of giving me code suggestions, it's just answering saying, hey, listen, these are suggestions of what you can do. Cool. So I want you to give me the answer. So it's going to synthesize solutions. Just one. Okay. This is interesting. It's not giving me what I want or expected here. Duplicates hidden. Okay. So it's searching more. Oh, wow. This is pretty cool because it's using filter. So with filter, it'll return a new array. So that's pretty cool because then I can just say, hey, listen, give me the value when you find it. And if you don't find anything, go from there. Cool. So accept solution. Oh, okay. So I can click on accept solution here. So that's cool. So I can do that. And then that's it. Oh, but there's like a whole bunch of different ones. And what's cool about this too, now that I'm looking at it, is that what you can do is run performance on each one of these and see which one is fastest, along with giving what you want. I do like the solution I had earlier because it just allowed you to put in a query string and then you reference that bit of data. But you can see the power of this that I have what, 5 different solutions right here at my fingertips. That's pretty cool. So let's go back to the beginning of where we started with all of this. Oh wow, no, we can't go back. Ain't no going back. Uh, okay, so it didn't show me what I wanted, what I had before, but I can always go back to that later. But this is just a quick example of it. It's nothing. It's really just to kind of quote unquote pique your interest, get your beak wet. But you can kind of see how easy it is. To install it, you just have to go to extensions and then search for GitHub Copilot. Once once you do have it, once you do have it, you can go ahead and run the setup. It'll ask you for your credentials so that you can actually authenticate it and then get it working for you. One thing I do want to know is when you're on, like, say, a company network or something like that, you really can't. Oh, Mr. Heat, salute. Lionel MGTOW, salute. Uh, where are all those youngins always talking about wanting to get into IT? Where are all those? Where are all those youngins always talking about wanting to get into IT? I don't get that question. Um. Oh, I see. For this stream, right, right, right. Yeah. Yeah, I get what you mean here. Yeah, I just that's another thing, man. Those that want it, and they'll get it. Um, it's the best thing I can say, man. But hopefully they catch it, and hopefully they get on this wave here because it's yeah, I'm gonna keep the stream public. I don't plan on taking it down. I usually don't do that. Let me know if you see any of my videos that are taken down, guys, in comment sections or anything like that I post. I usually read and respond to everybody. Okay, we got like 6 minutes before my first meeting. But anyways, so get on this, check it out. There's some other videos in my community tab. Check those out, and it talks about Copilot, AI assisted programming. The thing I was trying to say is that be mindful if you're using this at a company laptop. A lot of companies are not they're blocking machine learning tools like this because it is a security risk. So because with what machine learning does, it's going to take all of your code and then they're going to look at it and process it and say, oh, okay, we're going to suggest this to other people. The problem is that's proprietary information and it should not be suggested to other people. So it's just things like that you got to watch out for and be careful of. And just know that, hey, listen, this may not work on your work laptop. So you might have to use this on your personal, which I'm going to start doing, like, just for like little stuff here and there, and be like, all right, cool. How do I do this real quick? Boom, copy and paste, get the meat of it, get in, get out. Just to make things faster for me in the long run, so that I don't have to search through, YouTube videos and all types of other stuff for things that I just don't know or understand. Like, I have an idea of what should happen, but it's like, okay, doing the meat of it, that becomes a little bit tedious work. And we can see that with this tool, I was able to find numerous amount of suggestions. And one suggestion, it had 5 different ways of doing it. And that's one of the great things about JavaScript, but that's also one of the horrible things. There's just no one way of doing it. There's best practices, but then there's sometimes where certain things don't work the way you expect them to. So then you have to use some odd, obfuscated, bespoke, custom way of doing it. It's just like it just doesn't help you in the long run. Anyways, with that being said, I gotta get ready for this meeting. Thank you all for watching. Appreciate you all, and hopefully all those youngins that want to get into IT are watching this and better content that's out there. All right, appreciate y'all. Peace.